smoking mirrors. Raw and uncut, smoking mirrors. You know what's up. It's smoking mirrors. Raw and uncut, smoking mirrors. You know what's up. Yeah. It's smoking mirrors. Raw and uncut, smoking mirrors. You know what's up. It's smoking mirrors. You know you hear us. Listen, smoking mirrors be the station. Them boys uncut raw, no hesitation. Just tune in, the vibes are so amazing. It's all real talk here, that's word to Jason. Shout out to J Lee, them boys on a mission. Gunning for the #1 spot, pay attention. Knocking out the competition, Sonny listen. In Detroit, serving game like a piston. Shot clock, jump shot, all net with a feeling. The squad set it off, cause a riot in the building. Syndicates to bed, this ain't suited for the children. And talking cheap when they speak, you see millions. Turn it up one time. If you looking for smoke, then pull it up online. It's right there. Look in the mirror first glance, it's quite clear. That BMore got them scared like a nightmare. They blowing smoke through any city, take a flight there. And guaranteed to ring bells like a bike fair. Then Debo the whole set, they don't fight fair. Cause smoking mirrors gaining buzz like a light, yeah. You know? Raw and uncut, smoking mirrors, you know what's up. Smoking mirrors, raw and uncut, smoking mirrors, you know what's up. Yeah, it's smoking mirrors, raw and uncut, smoking mirrors, you know what's up. It's smoking mirrors. You know you hear us. Yeah.
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
What's good,
What's
man?
up? What's going on?
Chilling.
Good. So, hold up. I got a bunch of stuff going on in my ear right now. All right. So we back. Welcome to Smoking Mirrors Uncut live on Facebook and YouTube. We got your boy BMore in the house.
You.
We got your boy Detroit. And we got a special guest, Mr. Charles.
What's up?
How you doing?
Kicking, man.
Cool. I'm glad we finally got to get you on here.
Finally got it, right?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. We already got a shout out from Mr. Still. What's going on, Mr. Still?
Still.
Stiz, what's up, kid?
But yeah, so we got you on here to talk about what's going on in the world today. We got another guest coming in too. Hold on, fellas.
Who that is?
Miss J.
Miss J.
What's up, Miss J? Why your face already grumpy?
What's going on with this?
Uh-oh.
It is not. What are you talking about?
No.
When it first popped up, your face was on grump status.
Uh-oh.
Listen.
Yeah, because I was like, what's going on? I was trying to figure it out. That was confusion, not grumpy.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I'm sorry.
She got that versus battle it's internet right now. That Teddy Riley.
Yeah.
Teddy Riley.
Yeah.
Teddy Riley, a.k.a. Nelly.
Oh, man.
Yeah, didn't he get mad at Tony Baker?
Yo.
Didn't he get mad at him?
Who was it that got Tony? Teddy Riley got mad at Tony Baker.
Baker,
called him out. Called him out, yeah.
Because he said something about somebody's internet and he was there. And
he said something about Teddy Riley. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
called him broke.
Yeah.
But the funny part,
monies.
John Legend called him out too, but he ain't say nothing to John Legend about it. He just came at Tony Baker because I guess he knew he was broke. He can't go against John Legend money. So
Nah.
But yeah.
Nah.
So thanks for coming on, Miss J.
Thank you for inviting me.
So we're gonna start off with Charles Tolson's favorite team, the Redskins.
Taboo.
They talk about changing their name. How you feel about that, Charles?
Well, I mean, everything has two sides, some three. But I think that for the sake of the Native Americans who know who they are, a lot of them are offended by the title Redskins anyway. And honestly, whatever the curse they're putting on the Redskins must be working because they can't win crap. But I think that, if finally they're at least addressing it, they're at least, giving a little, homage to the tribes, and maybe they're going to, do something about it. I don't know. It's all, everything's so daggone political right now. So I don't know if they're just doing it to kind of pacify cats right now, just to give people something else to talk about. But I think that they should change it, especially if it's offensive, because it's like if they were to call them the N-word, and that's what they called the team. I think we would blow a gasket too. So yeah,
okay,
that's my take on it.
What's your take, Detroit? I know you got something to say.
Yeah, he do.
Especially with the sports related, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they're going in the right direction. They took down the statue of George Preston Marshall 2 weeks ago.
Now, who was he?
He was a racist owner / coach of the Washington racial slurs back in the day, way back in the day.
Yes, sir, David.
He started that team in Boston. He called it the Boston Braves, and then they moved down to Washington, D.C., and he changed the name to the Washington Racial Slurs.
Really?
So,
yeah.
So
it is a slap in the face.
It's a slap in the face, man.
Yeah.
And, they did the right thing by taking out that statue. I applaud them for that small clap. But Dan Snyder is stubborn, and we all know that. He got a lot of Jerry Jones in him. And to get him to buck, you have to take some money out of his pocket.
Which is happening.
So
yeah.
And he did a little documentary. He went around asking people in Native American communities about that word, and they all said it wasn't offensive to them. But I'm sure Dan must have gave him a couple of dollars to say it on his own doc. So it wasn't a true statement. So once they started digging in his pockets, those minority owners were like, "Look, we're done. Our 40%, we're trying to sell off that 40%. We're done dealing with this. We want the name changed, and that's it." So, and there's other investors now. I think it's like 87 investors also are like, "Look, we're done. We got $620 billion wrapped into this, and we're done with it. Either you change it or you're gonna lose all this money." So to get Dan the buck, you gotta dig in his pockets, and he don't like nobody digging in his pockets. So that's what's going on right now.
Wow.
But not only that, but with them being in the hood, right? This FedEx field is right in the hood, so they don't want what's going on right now in the world to happen there. They don't want their field torn down. They don't want none of that stuff happening. So they're going to move right now because of this particular movement that we're in, good, bad, or indifferent. Yeah. And like you said, you hit them in the pocket, they're gonna move every time.
Yep. And the city already said, "Look, you're not going to get," or even the minority owner, Fred Smith, who has the name of the FedEx name. He owns that name on the stadium. He said, "Look, you guys ain't getting a new stadium until you change this name."
Really?
Period. Yeah. Period.
Wow.
Change his name, or you're not going to get a new stadium. So
very nice.
They are coming at his pockets, and Dan Snyder has no choice now.
Nope.
Now, it's not genuine because it's Dan Snyder and he's all about his money.
It's about money.
It's always about money with him, period.
Yeah.
It's not about doing the right thing. It's about money. So money talks for him. So beat up his pockets.
I could play with that all day long. Yeah.
Dig in his pockets and a lot of stuff will change.
Right.
Money talks with everybody.
With a lot of truth.
That's true.
We're the biggest consumers in the world. We could play that game with money all day long with everybody and get anything we wanted.
True.
Okay.
True.
Yeah.
So that's the only color that matters. That green, huh?
No, that's all that matters.
That greenback.
It's respected by all. Trust that.
Right.
So they don't care what color y'all. But if you stop spending that green with them, they'll listen to you.
Mm-hmm. And that's what's happening right now. Like I said, a lot of investors are pulling out. The big ones, Nike, FedEx, PepsiCo, all of them. They're like, "Look, enough's enough."
Yep.
So,
wow.
Yep.
Okay. How you feel, BMore? You
I knew Detroit was going to say exactly what I was saying, because that's what I was going to say. But he rolled it out. I knew he was going to roll it out, and it's the same feeling for me. Basically, definitely change it. That conversation been had for, I want to say, for the last 10 years or more.
Probably longer than that. Yeah,
probably longer than
15, 20.
You know what I'm saying? And it's always that, like, "Nah, we're not doing it. But it's always
nobody made enough noise.
And I'm glad that they revisit it, and I'm glad that it has some money behind it now.
Right.
Is what I'm happy about, because it should be changed. Like, it is what it is.
Agreed.
Okay. Magical black girl over there.
Magical black girl.
How you feel about that?
I guess I kind of agree with everybody. Like, they should have changed the name a long time ago. Like, I mean, it was offensive, and people I find it very surprising that people just went with it from back then. Like, they didn't complain back then about it.
Are you really surprised?
I'm about to say.
Are you?
Yeah, I
Don't be
am.
surprised.
I am.
Yeah.
I actually am.
Now, question.
I am.
What do y'all know when that was established? What year that was established? The Redskins
The
name.
name?
I think it was 1943, I believe.
So yeah, I'm not
Really?
surprised. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I think it was like 1943,
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
Oh,
Yeah, it's one of the oldest.
That was before
one of
Jim
the
Crow
oldest
laws.
teams.
Yeah.
It was one of the older teams,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they was able to get away with it because it's by that Mason-Dixon line. There's a lot of government power. You know, it's in the government city, so there's a lot of power going on in there. So he was
Let's
able to
take
get
it
away
back.
with it.
How about 1932? Just looked it up. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
But
was
check
off
it
by
out.
10 years.
So if I can do a little history behind that, they can get away with that because as people who were Native Americans, they weren't even allowed to consider themselves Native Americans without penalty, fines, and imprisonment. So they couldn't even speak the word. So they didn't have a choice during that time, right after the stock market crash, right after a lot of name changes, title changes. Like, what was that? I think we were on our third title then as people of color. Who actually were the Native Americans, but that's another story.
Oh yeah.
But because we weren't able to talk about it, and we weren't able to mention it, so of course we had no fight in this game either. Because at that time was when they had killed all of our businesses, and they were switching over from you being your own homeowner, own business owner, to now taking a government handout in order to survive after they crashed the market on purpose. So that's another story. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Wow.
I hate you. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Deep. I already know.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
And speaking about Washington again, they were also the last franchise in the NFL to segregate as far as drafting the black player. He held on about 10, 15 years after everyone else integrated. He was like, nope, I'm not doing it. So, and as a matter of fact, they drafted Bobby Mitchell. And Bobby Mitchell was like, "Nah, I'm not playing for that racist coach. I'm not doing that." So he never even showed his face up there because he's like, "I'm not playing for that guy. He's racist." So,
I mean, they had already thrown in our face by declaring themselves Indians, Native Americans themselves, by doing the whole $5 just write your name on a paper, and now you're an Indian method by they were taking it away from us. So the whole thing was a complete slap in the face.
Yeah.
Everything that we were called, again, history, mulatto, colored, and all that stuff, that is what they call the Native Americans, which were us, the copper-colored people, which is where the whole term Redskins came from and everything. So it's always been us. We were always the Native Americans. We're the natives of this country. But we have been about 5 generations out of knowing that, and not being able to talk about it for fear of being in prison. So now we have generations of people that don't even know that they're the Native Americans, and they actually think that they're black. And black is not even a race; it's a condition.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
I like you, Charles.
Some more stuff too.
Some facts, really.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they've been talking about. They also been talking about the Cleveland Indians, about their franchise. I know a couple years ago they got rid of their logo, their emblem. Which was, I forgot what they called that emblem. I forgot the name of it, but they got rid of.
Was it Chief Head? I think.
Yeah, that was a clown. That was a clown symbol or sign that they were using. Yeah.
Yeah, and they got rid of it. Now they use like a big C or whatever. I remember a couple years ago, Bomani Jones of ESPN wore a shirt that said, instead of saying Indians, it said Caucasians, and it had that emblem, and it looked like a Caucasian person.
I remember seeing that.
And people were trying to come at him. He was like, look, like if you're coming at me because of this shirt right here, look what's on look what the emblem is for the Cleveland Indians right now. This is the same thing. So what are we talking about here?
I seen it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a comedic joke. The whole skinning and grinning, big mouth, kind of red faced Indian. Yeah. That was a joke. That was another slap in our face too.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Whole lot of slaps going on.
Whole lot of slaps.
A whole lot of slaps.
Yeah.
Whole lot of.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's crazy, especially when you look at that history. I mean, even you could look at today how everything in the United States is even named. Like some of those names are still to this day is like, all right, where did this come from? Oh,
they're Indian names. Even down here, I mean, the whole, like down in Virginia. I mean, I'm down in Virginia, and just about every city and town is an Indian name.
Yep.
But yet we don't own it. We don't own anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even the coinage. I'll tell you another slap. The coinage, all the coins are all silver. All the presidents are facing to the right. But because Lincoln was responsible for freeing people out of slavery mentally, they turned his face to the left and put it on a copper penny as the lowest value dollar.
Wow.
That's where the penny came from. And they turned him to the left because the left face is a dishonor, and it's for us, which is why the penny is copper and not silver. So and because it depicts the people of color who are copper. Yeah, that's where that came from. That was another slap in the face, even with the money. Yeah.
A lot of subliminal blows going on.
Oh my God!
Definitely.
All the time, man.
You knew that wasn't for no reason. I mean, it stands out. It stands out.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Indians is short for indigenous people, the indigenous Americans. And Christopher Columbus came up with the name Indian after he came over there and raped and pillaged and poisoned the people who are already here, which is what he uncovered. He didn't discover anything. He came to a land that was already populated by us. So basically, when he chopped down the cherry tree, he chopped down our flag. George Washington, the whole deal about that's our flag. The whole cherry, that goes back to the Moore thing you're talking about.
Right.
That's like the cherry red flag was the cherry tree that he chopped down and overthrew a nation.
Right.
Slapped us in the face with the Star Spangled Banner. Yeah, I see we planted our flag on their land, on the land of the free and the home of the brave, but they weren't so brave because we took it over.
Right. Wow.
So it's crazy. So many slaps, man. It's been slapped all around.
I should be drinking something else besides this great soda right now. That's serious, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot to take in. But So have y'all seen that video with the white couple that pulled the gun out on the girls? Did y'all see that video? Did you see that video, Miss J?
No.
I did.
You did see the video?
The full video.
Yeah, you had to see the full video.
Yeah, to get the whole thing out of it.
To get the whole thing. So BMore, what's your thoughts on it? Or give Miss J,
Yeah, break it down for Miss J so she understands what.
Okay, so the video comes on, I guess, with the mother confronting a lady about bumping into her daughter. I think her daughter was like 15 years old or something like that.
The mother's black, the lady's black, and she's confronting the white girl.
The white, yes.
So go ahead.
And it's just very confrontational. And for the most part, the lady is just pretty much trying to get away. She really doesn't want anything. When she gets in the car and, they start calling her racist. And she's like, I'm not racist. We're not racist. And it goes further to, I guess she starts talking to the guy. She even says something to the male that's with her, that's with the white lady, saying that she would beat him up if he said something to her. And he declines as well. I think he said something back, but regardless, he ultimately gets in his car.
They both got in the car.
They both were in the car. Were in the car. And the video doesn't show, but I'm not certain on this, but it sounded like somebody hit the car. I don't know if that's true, but that's what it sounded like.
The white girl apologized. She was like, I am so sorry that you feel that way. I am not racist. I actually love you all. I'm far from racist.
She
all
was
that
like
stuff.
that. Yeah.
So then when they got in the car, the mother goes behind the car while they were backing up trying to leave and literally runs into the car and acts like she hit him. That the guy hit her.
I didn't see that.
That's what I saw.
I saw her behind the car.
I need to see this video.
Yeah, you got to see it.
You gotta watch behind the car, but when I saw it, you can't tell whether she's trying to block them or whether she's just back there like walking away.
Because let's use some common sense.
She was back. She was back pretty far actually when they backed up. And maybe they just didn't see her, and then she took it as though, "Hey, are you trying to hit me too?" You know what I mean?
But if a car is slow backing and you're by it, what do? You
get out the way.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, from what I saw in the video, like if you see, you know how parking lots are set up. So basically, they're on this side, and there's cars on the back side of them, and she was close to those cars. So it was room for them to back up, but she was closer to those cars, in my opinion. You know, from what I saw. So when she backed up, it was like, I think that was just another thing. I don't think she was just standing behind the car.
He didn't. No, she wasn't standing behind the car, and he was like slow backing because he knew people were around him. She could literally took 2 steps back and moved out of the way. So why would you stand there and then start swinging on the car window like you hit me? I don't know. I just what I saw.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, but I feel like I just feel like they went overboard.
Both
That's
of
how
them.
I feel. Well, I see what you're saying with both of them. I do see what you're saying. I just feel like what were they trying to approve? What were they trying to accomplish by constantly harassing them? Okay, let's just say she did bump into your daughter. She did apologize. She said,
and leave it alone.
Yeah, but they were constantly egging her on, constantly messing with her, constantly.
Yeah.
And that's when she got behind the car. Like, why are you getting behind the car in the first place?
Why'd you get behind the car if the car backing up?
I don't know if she did that on. It doesn't show, so I don't know if she did that on purpose or whether she was actually walking away. Because I'm like, if she got behind the car, why wouldn't she have been exactly behind the car? But she wasn't. She was back further.
She was trying to stop them from leaving, is what she was trying to do.
She was trying to stop them from leaving.
I don't know if I agree
because
with that.
the rest of her family was over there on the sidewalk. She was the only one behind the car.
She was trying to escalate.
It was somebody else next to her.
She was trying to escalate it and just get behind the car and let this dude just back into her.
Well,
that's what I feel.
So
I don't know if I agree with that.
So Miss J, so the white lady ends up getting out the car, telling them to back up. She pulls a gun out and points it at him, and she's like yelling, "Back up, back up!"
Right.
Like, get away from us. Like, she's like, she got it pointed, and then that's when the girl starts crying and calls the cops and says, "This white lady out here pointing a gun at us."
Crying?
Oh yeah, you didn't hear? Oh yeah, somebody was out there crying. Yeah,
no, I didn't hear that neither.
Wow. Oh yeah. It was just it was a whole lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, Miss J. Once we get off this, Miss J, check out the whole.
I thought they was laughing like, "Oh, you want to pull a gun on me now?" Like I heard them all.
Somebody did say that, but somebody else was out there. I don't know.
They were still.
Yeah,
I might have to watch it again then because I didn't.
Okay, I'm looking at it right now.
She still talked trash after the gun was pulled on her.
Yeah. And then she stood behind the car. I'm looking at it right now, and she literally is looking at this van backing up.
That's what I saw.
She's not moving.
She's not moving. Got behind the car. Like,
she got behind
on purpose.
Right. And she's looking at it, and then as soon as it touches her, she's standing right there. And as soon as it touches her, she starts swinging and hitting the back of the van, like, "Oh, you try to do all this and blah 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 blah."
Yeah.
Doing the most.
Now, another thing, Jay, to add to this girl is pregnant. And at this point, she's like, if they're going to try to fight me and hurt my child, yeah, she's pregnant.
Because from what I heard, they wasn't sure yet. Did you get like an official on that?
Well, that's what they said. Everything that I've seen was like this girl was pregnant.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I didn't get that info. That's what I was
Yeah.
asking.
Yeah,
She
but
actually
she
said
literally
it.
stood behind the van. I mean, she was in no real danger. I mean, talking the van is like inching back.
Mm.
She's behind it, and then soon the van touches her. She started like hitting on the van, and I'm like, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
But it's just something else that's like a black mark on what's going on. Like we got enough
it's
going on
right.
right
It's fuel
now.
for the fire.
It's what it is, and the media is loving it. They're loving it, yo.
Oh yeah, they're gonna eat all that up.
Dude, let me tell y'all something. The media is the biggest demon out here in the world, man. I'm telling you, they will teach you to think whichever way they want you to think. It is such a control entity, it is not even funny.
Hmm.
And a lot of people follow right into what they're saying on the news. I pulled this video one day up that literally had about 40 different news reports. All 40 of them are saying the same thing verbatim all the way through the whole article. I mean, without flaw. Like they literally put all 40 of them up together, and they're all saying the same thing, like the Borg on Star Trek.
Yeah.
And so it's like that's how media control. It's like 4 companies that owns all media, and they teach them and tell them what to say. No media is operating on their own without them being instructed on what to say.
Yeah.
No media.
That's been
None of
proven
it.
a while ago. They got like a 20-minute clip that
Yeah.
shows
Yeah,
like a lot of different news segments from all over the country saying the
right,
same
right.
exact
Same thing.
So, yeah,
Same
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. And it's like it's controlled media. It's always been there, just like this whole thing with this COVID deal. It's like it is controlled. And I promise you, it's going to go real heavy and stupid until the November 3rd. That's what's going to happen.
So you saying? Oh. So what you saying?
What I'm
What are you
saying,
saying?
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that it's political, highly political.
You're saying this COVID deal is political.
It's highly political.
So you're saying,
Highly
so
political.
are you saying it's
So
not real?
I'm saying that the realness of it is that
Yeah,
it's been
yeah.
released out into the world.
Okay.
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 Yeah, but it's not natural. It's very real. It's not natural.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, and if you look up coronavirus, now keep it also COVID is
He said
certificate
real.
of vaccination ID. Keep that in mind too. But coronavirus is nothing more than a cold. Coronavirus, if you look it up, it came out in the 50s. It's a cold. But COVID is certificate of vaccination ID, which is why Bill Gates all of a sudden going to leave Microsoft, retire from Microsoft only because he don't want Microsoft targeted in the lawsuit that's going to come and hit his ass. That's what's going to happen. But Gates, Fauci, Dr. Burke, all of them, they're tied into this mess together. It is not natural. It is very real because it's very planned. Because right now they're pulling up all stakes to try to get this boy out of office. That's what they're doing. All stakes.
You get Trump out of office?
All stakes, yeah. Because there's a serious thing going on with that whole deal too. Now, I'm not saying I'm a Trump supporter. What I'm saying is that that's what they're doing it for.
Oh.
And I guarantee you, after November 3rd, you will not hear about Corona like that. I promise you won't.
What's up, Miss J? You all right? You all right over there?
No, I'm listening.
I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. It is a pandemic. It is not a pandemic.
Wow.
It's a pandemic. That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard
Just like this whole thing. Like, oh, now because now when the riots came, now all these people out there, thousands of people all over the place, never said a word about Corona. Never said a word about how many people got it from the riot. But all of a sudden, a whole rack of people go to the beach over the weekend. And then the Monday after the weekend, 50,000 people in Virginia gets Corona. Are you serious? So did they leave the beach? Did they leave the beach and go to the ER? I doubt it. So how are you going to come up with 50,000 cases now that you don't have anything else to pull at? You don't have your Russian collusion. You don't have your all these stuff. So now it's like they got all this other stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. I promise you it is. And everybody's going to see it because it's coming out just like this chick that they arrested, Jeff Epstein's secretary, whatever. She about to sing like a bird. And it is a stupid pedophile ring. I'll even go this far, and I probably shouldn't even say all this stuff on a controlled thing, because dude that's on this, even on our live platform, he's was tied in with Epstein too. But when the Comfort and Mercy was in New York during the whole first part of this whole COVID thing, if I got pictures, there are baby bassinets, baby beds, Pampers, milk, formula. That's the biggest part of the stuff that was on the ship, because they were doing a child rescue effort underground in Central Park in tunnels where they're rescuing these children from child trafficking. And that's what was on the ship. It was not a single corona patient.
Really?
I promise my hand to God. And I got pictures to show it. And all the doctors that was on the ships were pediatricians and pediatric nurses. That's what was on the ship. That's what was on the ship.
Oh boy!
And I got videos of cats going around to these hospitals where they had on the news, they had these cats, all this emergency, this and this and this and that, and these people going down to the videos after these news reports, and the hospitals are empty. They don't have this big thing like they're trying to make it out to be. I promise you, they don't. They don't. They do not. I will stake my life on it.
I don't know if you want to do that, but okay.
I will stake my life. Look, they're gonna get me one way or another. I mean, look, if they don't try to kill everybody with corona, but it's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, wow.
But anyway, back to the girl. Go ahead, back to the girl. My bad.
What girl?
Yeah, I know.
What girl? I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
So did Miss? I asked Miss J. Did you see the black militia that went to the Smoky Mountains? Did you see that?
The Smoky Mountains.
Yeah. What
Smoky
was it?
Mountains down in Georgia.
Yeah.
Jamie caught up.
You
caught up.
Where you been at?
Jamie caught up.
Oh my Lord.
She didn't know news or nothing.
Well, there's this
I've been working.
what do they call it? NAFTA?
You mean to the KKK?
Yeah,
Yeah.
those guys. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See,
So-
I saw that.
So you did see that. Okay. So what's your thoughts on that? Stone Mountain. That's what it was. Stone Mountain.
Oh, Mountain, yeah.
Yeah,
Stone
Stone
Mountain.
Mountain. That's what had me.
Yeah,
I'm like
yeah.
Smoky Mountain.
Yeah.
Oh, Mountain
So-
Joe.
My
Think
bad.
about smoking, that's why.
Yeah. So after listening to Charles, I'm gonna start smoking.
Smoking.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I think it was a good move.
Really? Okay. Now,
Yeah.
in what aspect?
I mean, if the clan can protest and do all their little, why can't we go and stand in front of their stuff?
True.
Say what we gotta say.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. And you see that nobody showed up to attest them, right?
Yeah. Of course not. Of course not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't blame them. I wouldn't either.
Nah. They was well organized.
Yeah.
And ready for war.
We had a gun rally in Richmond, and all cats came out there packing. All of them had their weapons, AK-47s, standing on courthouse, and not a single incident.
Really?
Not one. And they had black and white there. They had no incident whatsoever. These cats standing around with their AK-47s, with everything, and no incident.
Yeah.
Guns is a showstopper.
So now you said they had a gun rally.
Yeah.
What was that about?
It was like, it's supposed to have been to try to get people to kind of turn in their guns.
Okay.
At the time, doing the whole deal, because they've been trying to do that forever too. And I'm like, nobody's going to disarm themselves and not have any guns in their house. That's foolishness. But it was what is it? Was that the Second Amendment about the right to bear arms?
Yeah.
So it was like a Second Amendment rally, and because they're trying to, so they all showed up with their guns, and nobody did a thing.
Really?
It was straight cool, yeah.
Now, is it legal to carry openly in Virginia?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Carry openly and concealed.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just not at a bar. I can't go to a bar with with a machine gun. So
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you feel about that, Detroit? Them rolling up there, contesting because they was there to contest that Confederate monument.
That monument, yeah.
Yeah, get that
Um,
that tore down.
yeah. I mean, I'm looking at the video right now because I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't see it? Okay.
Nah, so yeah, I see all the all the brothers marching down in a good military type style march. Um, how I feel about it? Hey, man, they always saying they want to look. We don't want a race war. You know what I'm saying? We don't want war. We don't want people dying. We really don't. But at the same time, they always say, look, somebody, only one person is, they say, let's go. We're going to get them all. We're going to kill them all. They forget, not black people own guns too, man. Black people know how to protect themselves too.
Legally. Yeah.
Legally owned, legally ready to protect what they own. So, and there's black people that are not scared to use it too, even. Man. So,
Right.
yeah, I mean, I think it's a good thing too. They're challenging the system, not just KKK. They're challenging the system.
Now you see what my boy said. He said one thing.
Yeah, I was trying to read. That's why it threw me off real quick.
He said one thing is that we didn't hide our face, but all those who was with the movement should have showed up because they have more than 1,000. That's true.
Yeah.
That's
true. I
true.
agree with that.
Yep,
yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Gordon says some illegally stacked too. RPGs.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, my nephew's on.
Well, they count too. Just because they illegal don't mean they
see
fight.
my nephew's online.
He still said, "How else you gonna get a bully off your back, but to show them no more fear?" And that's true. I mean,
that's very true. That's very true.
Yeah, I mean, the KKK's been bullying for centuries,
and we've allowed it.
Yeah. I mean,
we've allowed it.
We've allowed it, but we had to allow it at some point in time.
At some point in time, yeah, we did.
Yeah.
But I'm not even gonna say that. I was gonna say if you had like a black militia crew when the KKK marched in Charlottesville and they were up in the woods popping off these cats, then that would have stopped then. But it's like we've allowed it. We can't, and there's no sense in us going to jail because of somebody else being stupid. Yeah. If you're just marching, if you're just protesting, like they have a right to protest. Everybody has a right to protest. If they want to do their thing, that's fine. We can do our thing too. As long as you don't step in my face, I don't step in yours, we're good. You have the right to say and feel in the way you want.
Yeah.
But that don't mean I have to accept it in 2020. This is not 1940 in 1895. I can tell you that. This is a different time. And which is why their organization has gotten weaker, in my opinion, because we don't have the same mindset of people who just cower down anymore. That silent generation is done, and a lot of the baby boomers are not out here in the streets anymore. So now you got X, Y, Z, and all of them doing their thing. And the millennials.
Are you saying people were cowering back in those days? Is that what you were saying?
I won't say all of them were, but it was a different time, man. A lot of people, to protect their family and their children, they took a step back. Because it's like, I'd rather take a step back and save my kids than to fight you right now and get shot and killed. Because at that time they had nobody supporting them and nobody standing with them. It was a different time, man. And honestly, I don't call them weak either, because if they did not take the position that they took, we wouldn't be here today.
That's true.
Right.
So let's not discount the baby boomers and the silent generation for what they did, because they did what they did because they wanted us to be here.
I don't know if we can call them silent. I think that's really what I'm.
Well, that was a generation before baby boomers. That was actually the name before baby boomers. It was a silent generation.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying that.
Oh no, yeah. I'm sorry. No, it's okay. No, I wasn't insulting nobody, but that was what they were actually called, which is good, bad, or indifferent. But between the silent generation and the boomers, they did what they did to get us here. Now we can do, and I will tell you what we have the responsibility to do as late boomers and millennials is to try to give a little bit of that common sense and that right approach to all the aggression that X, Y, and Z has, and bring a balance to that. Take your aggression, we're good with that, but use it in the platform to make it do what it do and make us really kind of take us to that next place that we need to go. But I think because we definitely can't be silent anymore, but we can't be ignorant while we out there either. We got to have some balance to it.
So in your opinion, what would you say? What give us something that we would be that you said we should do?
Well, honestly, as much as I don't like all the infighting and let me say this: the rioting is started by a whole different group. It's not us.
Mm.
We are protesting. We're protesting. We're being fueled by a group called Antifa that's doing the rioting, throwing the bricks and all this, and not only that, throwing them, but delivering the bricks into the inner cities to have on the sidewalk, so that when the riots start, we'll have it in place. So that's political too. So while we're rioting, I think that we should stand for who we are. I get that, but like I said before, like we were talking before, if we stand with our money, stand with our dollar, then that will get that respect and get that voice made much louder. If we stop spending, if we stop buying into a lot of the crap and accepting the crap that's out here, it'll change. Just like now, a lot of statues are coming down, been up for 100 years. All of a sudden, because we're rioting, it's coming down. Because we refuse to buy, we refuse to spend on things, it's coming down. So I can't take away from X, Y, and Z what they're doing in some of the millennials. I can't take it away from them because what they're doing is powerful, but it just needs a little bit of guidance so that they won't be all stupid in it and end up getting arrested and only becoming a person with a record and not able to get a job next week. We have to give that balance to them. I'm like, yeah, riot, but riot in the right way, protest in the right way so that we can make these things happen and then still get the result that we're looking for.
Right.
We can't be silent. We can't be sheepish. We can't be just whatever that thing was that didn't get us anywhere like the boomers did. We have got to do something like we're doing, but we have to have guidance to it. It just has to be a balance to it.
So Gordon said, well, the times were different because education and the unity wasn't as structured as it is today. The ancestors weren't weak. Their team wasn't tight, to be short.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's true.
Absolutely. They didn't organize the team because they didn't have the power of the internet, the power of social media to organize the team. And they couldn't call around and rally up thousands and hundreds of thousands of people at one time. Back in the day, you had to call the people that you knew, and I couldn't reach Delaware and Philadelphia and Ohio and California within a split second, different times. So now we have a lot of power under our belt to do things, but we've got to be educated about how we make our approach. That stupidity thing that we just can't afford to fall into the stereotype of, oh, you're the same person that I thought you were. Right. You're just a fool that's going to act out, burn our place down, burn our house down, blah, 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 blah. It's so much more than that, and we've got to do better. I as much as I hate the protest, I like the protest because it is definitely making a mark. Now we have to bring some balance because I don't know if you saw this picture on internet floating around, but they have all these different color hands, and they got black power, like a hand all the way up in the middle. We don't necessarily have to have our hand as the top, as a leader. We just want our rights. There's the post that I wanted to put up there. Be glad that we just want our rights, not revenge.
Right.
Because if we wanted revenge, it'll be a whole different way. But we just want our rights. What did Gordon say?
He says the oppressor has always had a head start, so we can't see them as weak. They created most of the platforms we are connected with today, and that's true.
Well, they are if they didn't create it, they owned it after we created it. So they didn't create a lot of them. Actually, as a matter of fact, they stole a lot of them from us. So the oppressor, I don't even like that word really. Oppression is a choice and it's an option.
Whoa. Huh?
Okay. It's a choice and it's an option for you.
Oppression is a choice?
It's a feeling that you choose to take based on what somebody's giving you.
Okay.
So I'm not saying that you're choosing to be oppressed. What I'm saying is that you're choosing to take the road of oppression under what they're trying to dish out. We've always had an option, especially in this particular generation.
Huh?
It's a choice.
Yo,
You just said
he's drinking that Kanye West juice right now. But go ahead.
No, I'm not.
Because
So
I
no,
don't see
because
how it's a choice when somebody is putting me in this situation. I have no choice.
what? Why do you not have a choice?
If I lock my dog in a cage right now, he ain't got no choice but to stay in that cage.
If you lock your dog in a cage, that's true.
And I'm
if you're locked,
I
if we're
am the
locked,
oppressor. I'm the oppressor, right?
If we're locked in a cage, then true, we don't have a choice at that time.
So, and I'm being the oppressor, right?
But you're not locked in a cage.
oh man.
Yo, bro.
You're not locked in a cage. You're not locked in a cage.
Mentally, the slaves were locked in cages.
Mentally, the slaves were locked in cages because of the physical part that came with it.
Bruh. Yo. So,
dude, I'm telling you, mentally they were, because once you can definitely psych someone out and get them to any place you want them to be, especially when it comes with the abuse and there's no way out, there's no what. And I see Alvin on here, but at this point in our lives, we have a choice. We made a choice and we started fighting back with the protests.
I think I get what you're getting at, but I don't think all oppression is a choice. Some oppression is a choice. That's like saying, hey, you don't want to listen to your parents after the age of 18. You have a choice to leave. You know what I mean? But all oppression is not a choice. That's like saying what happened to Khalif Browder was his choice. That wasn't his choice. He technically, he got picked up and ended up losing his life because somebody made a decision to lock him up in jail. That wasn't a choice.
That wasn't a choice. That wasn't a choice.
So in some cases, I feel what you're saying. Some of it is a feeling that
nothing is totality.
Get yourself out of.
Yeah.
But other parts are directly oppression that you have no choice about. You know what I mean? Like all these innocent people that's locked up in jail right now, they ain't got no
I agree with you.
That. You know what I mean? So I get what you're saying though. You know what I mean?
But and honestly, sadly enough, with things like that, with people being locked up, by being locked up, they lose a lot of their voice, but they don't have support. And the support has to come from us, because even being locked up, it's like if we had someone who had a voice and the knowledge of law, we could get them out there. Because honestly, if we knew who we were, and again, going back to the Morse thing, you can definitely get them out of there. You can write a writ to the judge and to the court and get them out the next day.
Really?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, it's some stuff with that. That's
it's some serious stuff with that. Because like as Indigenous Americans, I can write a writ, and I don't mean a plea. I don't mean anything. I'm not asking for permission. I can write a writ to that courthouse and shut them down, because it's like, if they don't get you out, then I will file a lien against that courthouse entity, EIN number, and drop their credits so low that they can't even hold due process. Yeah. That's what we can do. We can do a whole lot of things, but it takes knowledge, and we got to get in his head a little bit more than our emotions. That's what we need to do.
Oh yeah.
So that's a choice too. It's like we can choose to level up, rise higher, and realize who we are, and realize that we are the indigenous. Yeah, honestly, if we just read the rights of indigenous people, I mean, that's something that's a law, that's a federally recognized thing. The rights of indigenous people. If we even knew that we were the indigenous in the first place, then we could read the rights and know who we are, and know what we're about.
All right.
Yeah, it's deep. It's real deep. And it's like, it's just so much more to us than we've ever realized. And again, it's because it's been mental oppression. I'll give you that. It's been mental oppression, but at some point we got to get out of our emotions, because emotions are terribly deceptive. Mm-hmm. Emotions are deceptive, and it can make you believe or think a thing about yourself that's just not true.
Emotions make you cry sometimes.
Pretty much. Ain't no lie. Yeah.
So
that thing is real.
So speaking of us taking control of situations and stuff like that, I was bringing up to y'all earlier on the Atlanta murder that just happened of the little 8-year-old, and I think Charles, you told me also of the little 11-year-old that was killed
in DC.
In DC. So as far as and I see the mayor of Atlanta is calling. She's saying enough is enough. Enough is. We got to stop this killing. in the cities and stuff like that. And I was talking to Jarman earlier, and he was like saying, "Where's all the basically talking about the no snitch policy that's in the inner cities and stuff like that, and why are we still doing that?" And I was talking back and forth with him about that, and I was like, it's a lot different for people from the outside in saying, why are you not snitching, why are you not that, because you're not living in the inner city, you don't know. Right. And yeah, it would be nice to go to the police department and tell on this person doing the killing, but we can't trust the police right now.
No, at all.
Not only that, even if you could trust the police, you still gotta go back home.
You still got to go back home.
Yeah,
So people are saying, "Oh, why you not stitching?" Because I still got a life to live. I still got to go to work, and my family's there by themselves.
Yep.
So
the word gets out. Gets out, and once your name gets out there like that, you
know your little son or whatever.
School,
like
the reason why I have not done a whole lot of things because my family is too well known, and I would not want to put them in harm's way because of me.
Right.
So I would not ever put myself out there like that to hurt them.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I say, like, for people to say, "Oh, y'all need to stop that no stitching." No, it's not like the police department. The police department, they need to stop that no stitching stuff. That little blue line of whatever. Come on, that's your job. That's your job.
You're more in danger of the street snitching than you are the police department.
Exactly.
Yeah, ain't no lie. Yeah.
So but it's funny. It's just funny because I try to get people to understand that, like, it's a whole nother. Unless you lived in the inner city and lived in that lifestyle, you will never really understand why.
Yeah, it's something.
Now,
we'll get.
Yeah, now that little girl that got killed, yeah, I feel so bad for her. But this was some dude shooting up a car trying to kill somebody else, and the little girl got killed.
Yeah. Just like the boy in DC, he's 11 years old, random. Two guys get into a fist fight, kind of. And they started firing shots, and the little boy is the one that got killed.
Yeah,
it's craziness.
But another reason why you're not going to see people protesting and rioting because of this, because if that black man gets caught, he's not going to get paid time off. He's going to go straight to jail. He's going to do his time.
That's the difference.
That's the difference between a police department killing somebody and another black man killing somebody. And this is all we saying. This is all we saying.
Not even a black thing, just, you know what I mean?
Or anybody, yeah.
It's
the police. The police can kill you and get paid for it. That's what it's. That's why people are protesting against the police department.
Especially if they write their report. If they write their report correctly.
Yeah.
They're always covered. Yeah.
You're always covered.
I mean, with the one in the Wendy's parking lot. If you saw that, it was kind of troubling to hear his higher up saying, "Oh, you good? Don't worry about it. We'll take care of this. We'll take care of this." Like, what? What you mean?
What blows me though is that police and this dude George Floyd were friends in the court and they worked at the same club together.
No, not even George Floyd. I'm talking about the one that was in the Wendy's. When you listen to his higher ups that were all on scene, on occasion, I think it was two different higher ups that was like, "Oh, you good? Don't worry about it. We got you. We're gonna take care of this. We're gonna take care of this." And I'm like,
right.
Take care of what? Like, what is that to take care of?
Yep.
But it's way different. But what do y'all think, honestly? Detroit, you've been kind of quiet right now. What would you say people should do in those situations as far as inner cities, like to kind of like police each other? What would you think?
I mean, you just said it. Police each other.
Okay.
That's plain and simple, man. Just police each other. Like you said, we can't trust the police departments right now at all. So our community's got to police each other, man. Yeah. Period.
Now
that's how we're gonna save each other, man. Police each other.
Now, I guess Jarman's asking me. So somebody kill your fan, you want people to stay quiet? No, I don't want nobody to stay quiet, but I don't expect them to come forward either. If somebody
they better come forward. If you're my friend and somebody kill my family, you don't come forward, I'm shooting you too. When I find out,
I can't see. I'm a realist. I'm a realist. So no, I'm not gonna. Would I be happy? Yes, but would I be upset that you didn't? No, because I understand why you didn't. Point blank.
Miss J, how do we change? How we change this? How do we change the inner cities, or just towns or whatever? This no snitching thing. What do we change, Miss J?
She don't know.
Realistically,
what
like
do
I mean, yeah,
what do we do in our communities to help make change?
really, like nobody's gonna really feel that
Um,
until it happens to them. They're not gonna be worried about snitching on anybody
And that's true,
until something happens in their family. So it's like
unfortunately.
I don't know what could be done, unfortunately, to change that. Like
Yeah,
it needs to change, but like, yeah, people don't care unless it's them.
Mhm.
yeah.
What's going
I
to
don't
bring
know how
us
you make people
together?
care about that.
How do you get us together? How do you get us to really
we are together.
support?
What makes you think we're not
Right.
together? We are
Because
together.
that's what no. We're together when a cop kills somebody.
Yeah,
No,
That's when
we're
we're
together.
together.
Period. It's
We're
not
not
just him.
together
no, we're not together either.
as a whole, as a people. So when a
Mm-mm.
cop kills one of us, then we want to ride.
Yeah, then we
No, we're
rise
not.
together, but
We're
we're
not
not
together.
together. Mm-mm.
We're
What?
not
Nah, I disagree with that.
at
Yeah.
all. There's protesting for police brutality and all the police abuse. Yeah, they
Okay.
riding for that, but we still killing each other every day.
Yeah, we're not together.
We
Okay.
gotta work on that.
And that's going to continue to happen.
Yeah, because we're not together.
No, that has
It's
nothing to
going
do
to.
with it because people are people. People are people. People kill people. That's going to happen. Period. It has nothing to do with togetherness. And we are together because you get people that still go against that grain as well. You got people that do a bunch of stuff. We did bike ride. I know Lee, we did bike rides for Stop the Violence.
Sure
Bike
did.
rides. We do stuff. Just because you don't hear about it, it's not as wide or as
You're
many
not going to hear about it.
turn up don't mean that people ain't together.
You're
That's
not going to hear about the positive stuff, bro.
I mean,
You're not, and I'm not saying. I'm again. When we talk, we're not being general. We're generalizing. We're not talking about specifics. There are, of course, there are a group of people who are together.
Yeah, there's
We're
things
together
going on.
tonight. But
so then what are we talking about then? Because the whole statement was general. So
the whole
do you have
but
a
the overall
percentage of what
scheme,
you would like to see as opposed to not seeing, or what you
man,
what you don't know about?
dude. I mean, Black Wall Street. I mean, buying from each other. I mean, doing stuff with each other, supporting one another's business. I mean, all that. So we were talking about that earlier. It's like just like I do retirement planning. I can go to a white family and get business immediately, whereas I got to prove that I'm trustworthy to a black family before they would even talk to me. And I'm, again, generalizing, but for the most part, that's what I get. And that's what a lot of people in black business get. My brother is an electrician. I mean, he's a master electrician. And we got people right here in the area that will not call him because he's black. I don't mean other people. I'm talking about black people that will not call him. And as a matter of fact, I'll give you a perfect scenario. He called and quoted a price to a friend of mine, of ours, really, for like it's $800 to do a whole electrical overall deal that she wanted to have done. She did not. She didn't want him to do it. She called a white boy. The white boy charged her $1,200. He could not figure it out, and he knows my brother and called him to get it. And he said, I can't figure this out. He said, I need to call a friend of mine. He is a master electrician and he knows what he's doing. I need to call him to get him with it.
Call him.
And call my brother. My brother, he paid my brother the $800 that he asked for and took $400 home and put in his pocket for doing nothing. That's what happens in the business in the industry. So we're not together.
That's it. Well, that's one incident,
dude. That is all.
That's a lot of incidents like that.
I'm not saying that it's
every
not,
day,
but I
dude.
didn't know what he was talking about as far as together.
It happens every day.
That's a mindset more so.
Yeah, of course. That's the whole thing. It's the mindset. That's the whole thing. It's a mindset. We still fighting against that Willie Lynch letter. We still putting dark skin against light skin, men against women. We're not together.
But when you first made this statement, I thought you were talking about like we not together, as in because it was talking about violence and about us protesting against a cop killing us.
Yeah, we're together on that part.
Protesting against us killing us, and I was talking to that. I didn't know we were going that far deep into it, like to where we not together, because you got people that do support black businesses. The same
you do.
That don't. So it's like, what percent do we have a percentage on what that is or what we want it to look like to actually know, like, and say for a fact that hey, we not together because this person didn't do that, and that person. These hundreds don't do that.
Yeah.
When we got these thousands over here that do. That's what I'm saying.
Honestly, I think a stronger percentage. I mean, and I'll put it this way. I think we're growing in a way that's pretty impressive of people finally coming together to do things together. But it is still a big problem. It's still a big problem within our community. It really is. We don't get along like that.
I don't know if y'all saw the vegan restaurant that did you see that? It was a vegan restaurant that had I don't know what state it was in, but it was black owned, and I think they supported George Floyd. They did something for his kids, and a bunch of white people got on and gave them bad ratings, like horrible ratings, and said they were racist and all this other stuff. And mind you, this is a restaurant that did stuff in the community and all different types of things. So a bunch of black people got together and lined the streets down all the way blocks and just bought food, and they flooded Yelp and all that and gave them all plus ratings. That's perfect to bring it back up. So when we can pull together, we can. When we want to.
Yeah,
we just got to.
Yeah, we can. We got to keep doing it, man. We just got to, again, Black Wall Street. We really need to do it on a regular basis. Most other communities, that's how they build each other. A lot of people who are not us, they don't necessarily like each other. They don't trust each other, but they know that for the sake of preserving their ethnicity, they have to come together. Asians do it all the time. They will buy Asian before they buy it from anybody. But we shop everywhere else, but us, in many cases. So yeah, you're right. So it's like if we just pull together more consistently, man, we'll be a powerful force.
But do we shop everywhere but us because that's our choice, or is that because it's not readily available as much to some people?
A little both. I mean, it's a little both.
I just want to make sure that's a fair shake.
Yeah, it's a little both.
Shout out to Lil Cuz. I see you out there, Lil Cuz. He put up a question though.
He said, we could say we're not together in these instances, but why aren't we? How do we change that and why?
Yeah, that's a big question. That's a tough question. It's a big question, and it's hard. I mean, like we have the mindset to do it, and it literally has to be a thing of each one reach one until people get that knowledge of we have to support one another. I just don't think it's going to happen on a global scale with just a conversation like this. I think if there's more awareness of the fact that we need to support one another without sounding racist our own selves, saying I won't go to any white person at all for anything.
And see, that's where people start to think it sounds racist because
I'm
only supporting black businesses.
Yeah,
it's a fine line. It's a fine
line, man. So it's like, why don't we do it in secret, just like the other ethnicities do? They don't say it, but that's what they do.
Line, though.
You don't see any other.
But do we have to? Why do we have to keep it secret though? Why can't we just say, "I want to buy from this black man. I want to buy from this black woman"? Like, why do I have to say?
Yeah, why not say anything?
Why
just
do I
go
have
buy
to
it.
not say it? If I want to spend my money there, I can say I'm gonna go to that black store. I don't have to be like because I don't want to have to be secret. Because I am. I'm voting for everybody black. I am rooting for everybody black to come up and do what they got to do. Yeah. I'm not racist. I love my white people too. But at the end of the day, I'm for my people. And whatever I can do to support them, I'll do that. Like I don't feel like we have to be like, oh no, let's not be as vocal about it. Yeah, let's talk about it. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Who cares what they think?
But my thing is too also is like we don't have to be for us does not have to mean that we're against everybody else.
Against them.
Yeah, and I think that we can be for us and just for the sake of supporting our own family and still have white friends and family that we frequent with.
Yeah, of course.
Everything doesn't have to be in totality. And I think that's what a lot of people think. It's like, because you're for us, like you're going to be all 100% black everything. And I don't even want to talk to white people.
There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. You know what I mean? Like I think that's readily easy to see. You know what I mean? For the simple fact of what I said earlier. How many black businesses can I patronize that's close to me? How many? Can I go to a black hardware store right now if I wanted to? You know what I mean? So when we talk about that, it's very easy to see why we would support black businesses, because we want that to be able to be readily available to us. Period. You know what I mean? Especially when you talk about everything that you could possibly get, stuff that's filtered towards you, because everybody knows, when you have your Mexican brothers or your Hispanic,
Yeah.
they definitely make their and cater their stores towards them. So why
They
can't
do.
we do the same thing?
Yeah.
So I
We
think
can.
it's very easy to see why we would do that and why we would want to do that, and not have to explain us not being racist. Like, that's pretty
Yeah.
Yeah.
easy to see.
Mm.
And we just advertise. We just have to advertise more. And again, without calling everything black, without naming your store black,
Yeah.
because you're going to limit your market by doing that. But if we know, again, some things, honestly, Jay, you said not telling anybody, but honestly, a lot of times when you're doing strategy, some things have to be in secret. Now, you don't have to wear a banner that I only shop black. But now I know we can make a shirt and a hat out of that real soon. But but what I'm saying is, like, if you don't have to wear a banner to do that, but you
Write
can
that
just
down.
like do the same thing other cats do. I know. I'm about to make a T-shirt out that bad boy. Like, I only shop black. But yeah, I think that we can just get for one thing, even get a network of black businesses in our area and just start shopping it.
That's
We
hard.
just do
That's
stuff with them.
hard.
I know it
It's
is.
hard.
I know.
I mean,
That's gonna be hard.
honestly,
That's gonna be hard to
because
grab a loan.
I know.
There's so many businesses that we don't own, and that's the
I
problem.
agree.
There's so many
And,
businesses.
and that's what I was just talking about.
Yeah,
just
we don't own a
simple-
lot.
Yeah.
We don't.
I agree.
I think my wife just told me that Carol's daughter. She just found out that Carol's daughter, a popular black brand, is not even black owned.
Now, oh wow. Well, that's just like Johnson & Johnson. That used to be black owned, and a lot of people still think it is, but it's not anymore. It's owned by Viacom. But I think that one thing we could definitely start doing is a lot of black banks. If we start doing our banking through a lot of black banks.
Like he just said, they're not ready. The closest black bank to me is in Philadelphia.
Yeah, Philly, yeah.
That's exactly. That's my point. That's what I'm saying.
So I got to drive all the way to Philly.
We're not gonna do that. Yeah, and I understand why you would not. I already get it.
Yeah.
So but we definitely have to increase it as much as we can. I know that I'm not
now.
Huh?
It might be a little different now, because my bank, I chose to stay with a bank that I got from the military, and they're not close to me. They're literally about an hour from me, but a lot of my banking I can do over the internet.
I was going to say a lot of people can do online banking. You don't have to go into a bank for hardly anything anymore.
Into a bank, you know what I mean. So,
yeah, you
that might be a viable option now. Really,
it is. But there's a lot of different we can get loans through black banks and do black business from that standpoint first. We could do a lot with that.
Mm-hmm.
We could bring it back into our own neighborhood, and support it.
So Colburn has said, do y'all think that you expect more from black-owned businesses?
No,
I don't, and I don't. I also don't expect a handout. And sadly enough, a lot of times, like, can you cut me a break? It's like you don't ask another business that. You only ask us that, and it's crazy.
I ask everybody that.
Look, some people do. I ain't mad, because if I can get a discount, I'm gonna get a discount. Now, at the same time, a lot of black businesses don't have to charge all the extra price that they do. A lot of times, you go to a black business, and a lot of times either your service may not be right, or the price just might be too high. So it's a catch-22.
Sometimes they have to charge the price a little bit higher because they're paying more than what
I agree.
their white counterparts are paying.
They're not getting a white discount. They're
not getting that discount.
That secret whiteboard, I'm going to give you 1%.
Yeah.
I know.
People don't see that. People don't see why that black business is charging so much more.
I know. It's a lot. That's why I say each one reach one. None of this is going to happen overnight. It's not going to change overnight.
No,
but I think that we could initiate some of that stuff and start doing black business a little bit more.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think it would really help us as a community if we could do that and get away from that whole distrust, and especially the ones who literally won't do it with you because you're black. Now that blows.
Yeah.
But it happens too.
Yeah. Gordon says, well, most of our black businesses are bought. We love money, so many of our businesses and inventions are bought from us. Look at BET.
Yeah, well, same way with Johnson & Johnson. It's like they were a black-owned business. Dudley, all of them, they were black-owned, but they sold it out. Look, the biggest slap in the face and stupid thing was Famous Amos. This man sold his company and can't even use his own name anymore in any other business. Yeah, because he sold his company to a white person. And they said you cannot use Famous Amos on nothing anymore, even though that's your name and your whole branding, but you can't do it anymore because you sold it to us. So now Famous Amos is not owned by a black person anymore, and he can't even use his own name to do business of any nature with.
Wow.
So we can't always sell out for the quick buck all the time either. Yeah. So it's just all education, a lot of learning. And if I can do a little churchism, like y'all were trying to pin me on me before, it says my people perish because of lack of knowledge. Right. A lot of things that we miss because we just are ignorant to it, and we just don't know a lot of things that we probably need to know.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Gordon said he can't use his name or face. He knew how to make a product, but he didn't know how to do business.
As a matter of fact, he changed his name and used his face and got sued.
Yeah.
And lost.
But
because using his own face. Because as a matter of fact, he changed to Uncle No Name and tried to sell the same thing, and he got sued.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I will say this, as far as black businesses are concerned, a lot of them are startup businesses that have no, they're not used to running companies. Whereas
you're right. And
a lot of white businesses were passed down from generation to generation to generation, and they were taught how to structure a company, how to run a company, how to please your customers, make them happy, all these things. Where a lot of black companies don't have that history. They're still in the learning process. So I will say that we got to be careful with dealing with black businesses. If we're going to criticize, be helpful. Don't just talk bad about them.
Exactly.
Right.
Don't just talk bad about them.
Exactly.
If they're doing a disservice, pull them to the side.
Right. You're right.
And let them know what they're doing wrong.
A lot of us are still under the mentality of survival mode versus thrive mode. And when you're in survival, you think protect wise versus just let me just go out there and strive, take a chance, and take a risk. It's like you think preservation versus striving.
Right.
So we've grown up in a survival mentality. So everything that we do is out of the mindset of surviving. A lot of things that we do. Again, not trying to generalize, but a lot of things that we do is out of the mindset of surviving instead of just striving.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
We're over an hour now, so
all right,
we're gonna end this. Yeah. But it's been real. It's been good having Miss J on.
Hey, Miss J.
Definitely you, Mr. Tolson.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's great. And any words, fellas, before we leave, or?
Yeah, let me say something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Big shout out to Maker, the 16th ranked high school basketball player in the country.
Oh yeah.
He decided not to do the blue blood thing, going to Kentucky, North Carolina, Memphis. He's taking his butt to Howard University.
Yeah.
Probably the most predominantly well-known HBCU in the country. So shout out to him. Hopefully more will follow him. Also, make sure you guys, if you haven't, check out the 13th. It's a Netflix special directed by Ava DuVernay, the lovely one, and it's about the 13th Amendment, and it talks about how we got to that point with slavery and everything else. So check that out. It's a good doc. It's about an hour 40 minutes, maybe hour 50. Good doc. Check it out. Good info is in there. All right?
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yep.
All right. Well, it's been real, and we'll catch y'all later. All right.
And to my nephew, he asked when am I going to start a podcast? I have no idea, but I guess I should because everybody keeps asking me to.
You might as well.
Yeah, might as well get out there and put myself out there.
Yeah.
But it's a great call on everybody. And honestly, I mean, I know all of what we talked about tonight, but I am definitely super proud of where we are going. I think that we have a lot that we can do as a people. We're very, very, very intelligent, very intuitive, very knowledgeable, and very, again, outside of a church mindset, very spiritual people by nature. And I think that the things that we know and see without seeing, we know it's there. It's just like on the Matrix. It's like, it's something wrong, but you just can't put your finger on it. I think that we're getting there. And I think that as we open our eyes, I think we're going to do great. And all I can say to everybody is just stay in critical thinking mode when you see a lot of mess that's about to jump off again before November 3rd, and stop relying on the emotions, because they will trick you. It's a lot about to happen, and we're about to see a lot of crazy stuff over the next few months. But just keep your head straight and stay sober in the whole thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Colburn. It's cool on surface. The surface is cool.
We talking about that, yeah.
Yeah, the surface is cool.
Mm-hmm.
But what else you gonna do? I need some internal work, some more work. That's fine that they're gonna play the Black National Anthem before the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. That's cool on surface. It looks
They're
good.
Pacifiers. It's pacifiers.
It looks good. It looks fine.
It's a pacifier.
Yeah, I need more. NFL, I need more.
And
I'm
honestly,
always gonna need more.
Yeah, and even taking down all these monuments, all this stuff is pacifiers. What's going to happen after this? That's going to bring any kind of equality. I don't care if the monument stays up or down if you're not going to do anything different for people. Now, I'm not looking for a handout either, but what I am looking for is for you to recognize who we are, whose we are, and get away from that still stereotyping in secret like you've been doing.
Right.
So yeah, don't pacify me and don't patronize me. Let's just make this thing really, really equal, and where all men are created equal. Act like that with all of us. Don't do that with just your own. Yeah.
Okay. Well said. All right.
Bye-bye.
Well, we out.
All right.